A Mormon may or may not be a Christian. Because the belief system of Mormonism contains the truths of Christianity, but is also confused with other beliefs, the individual Mormon may or may not be a Christian. It is up to the individual adherent of the Mormon Church and how that person takes the idea. This is one video in a series where we took a look at a religious group and try to determine if it is a Christian group or not. In this video, we will take a look at Mormonism. It is impossible to determine if Mormonism is Christian or not. This is because the belief system in Mormonism is meaningless. Therefore, it is impossible to ever nail down what Mormons really believe. The individual believer in Mormonism must take the belief in his or her own way. Then and only then can you determine if the person really believes in Christianity or not. There is no way to determine the basic beliefs of Mormonism. The reason Mormonism is meaningless in its beliefs is that it is self-contradictory. For example, if I were to tell you that I am a married bachelor, then that would be a self-contradictory idea. What I have really said is nothing at all. The contradiction in Mormonism is as follows. Mormons believe that a person needs to be saved. To the Mormon, the plan of being saved or salvation means reaching the highest level of heaven and obtaining godhood for oneself, becoming a god. So the Mormon is saved from the lowest level of heaven, where they will go if they are not saved. Mormons do believe in a place of punishment in the afterlife. They do not call it hell, they call it the outer darkness. But it is only for the most evil people of all time, although sometimes Mormons will say that it's also for ex-Mormons. Mormons believe that salvation is by grace and works. Grace in the Bible, which Mormons hold to be true, comes from the Greek word charis, or charis if you want to be a little closer to the English. This is where the English word charity comes from. The word means receiving something not because one earned it, but as a free gift. Mormons believe that humans have committed evil deeds. They need to be forgiven to go to the higher levels of heaven. Forgiveness is found through Jesus Christ, who was punished in the place of humans and bore the punishment of sin they deserve. Mormon Jesus did this by shedding drops of blood in the Garden of Gethsemane, and not by dying on the cross. Mormons do not revere the cross or use it anywhere in their symbols of faith. Mormons believe that the suffering of Jesus only gets part of the plan of salvation accomplished. The individual believer must accomplish the rest by doing good deeds and never committing evil deeds. This life lived as a good person is called works. The contradiction here lies in the concept of works. As the Apostle Paul says in the book of Romans, when a person works, his wages or his pay is credited to him not as a gift, but as an obligation. When a person receives something because he or she has worked for it, the employer or the boss has to pay the person. The money is owed to the employee or the worker, and deserved by that person. But when the person on the sidewalk asks you for a gift of money and you give him or her some, that is charity. You are not obligated to give it, and he or she does nothing to deserve it. It is a gift. Mormons believe that salvation is achieved by charity, also known as grace and works. This is a self-contradictory idea. A person is forgiven for evil acts. If a person is forgiven for evil acts, then he or she cannot work to deserve this forgiveness. Forgiveness means that a person deserves to be punished for evil deeds. In the case of Mormons, this punishment would mean only making it to the lowest level of heaven. Works means that you deserve your reward. In the case of Mormons, this means making it to the higher levels of heaven. So Mormons believe that a person escapes the lower levels of heaven and makes it to the higher ones by getting what he or she does not deserve because he or she deserves it. That is what you get when you combine works and forgiveness. It is a meaningless idea. It is what monkeys type on a typewriter. Therefore, it is up to the individual Catholic and how he or she wants to take this. I'm sorry, it should say Mormon. I should say Mormon. He or she may take it in a Christian way or a non-Christian way. It is really up to the individual. Christianity is defined by its central message, often called the gospel. It is as follows. There exists a God of maximum greatness in every way, power, love, knowledge, goodness, etc. Humanity is sinful or evil. This sin creates a separation from the good God. Jesus Christ saves us from this problem. He does this by who He is as the Son of God, His death as punishment for our evil acts, and His completion of this punishment by resurrecting from the grave. To receive this free gift of salvation from evil itself, one must place faith or trust in Jesus. Click here to see the playlist of other videos on different religious beliefs and whether they are Christian or not.